I come from Kissimmee way, because I am a Floridian. I ain't been nowhere. I have been out of the state of Florida because my father and mother was a migrant worker. Y'all might not know that was people that you went where the work was at. You know, in Florida, it was oranges. Back then, the days that my father, we all came down here to pick oranges. Because I think it was on the way coming from New York, where we was down there in Rhode Island picking apples. Then we stopped somewhere else and picked pecans. You know what, I don't think I never picked cotton. But everything else, we picked. In Virginia, I think we picked string beans. So we was mindless workers. So your parent was that kind of worker. So they took all the kids with them. So, and at that time, I got 17 sisters and brothers. So I'm number 5 out of the group. And how it became that big, my mom and my dad she had a husband at one time and he had a wife. And each one of them had 4 kids apiece. And when they got together and got married, they had me. Wow, me. They had Willie Mae. And so I'm number 5 on both sides of that family. And I got 8 more sisters and brothers behind me. And it was all like this. All of us was like that. So that makes my family already interested because it was a lot of them, so they was always doing stuff. And with my father, he didn't know how to read or write, but he sure knew how to count some money. So he was always the boss man. Everywhere he went, he was the boss. He was like a lion sometimes. He could walk in, okay, what's going on in the house? When Bud Mintz would walk in the door, we could be doing anything, but everybody was just, daddy home, daddy home. And we never said a mumbling word, nobody else, unless my father spoke to us. Back there, children were seen and not heard. Today, things have changed so much now, because now we got to listen, and they've always got something to say about their mom and dad. But I'm just telling you, this is how it was back in the day. Back in the day, in St. Cloud, I had a lot of, come on out here. We come from a place that St. Cloud, back then in them days, they didn't allow these pretty color skinned people to come downtown. So if I use the word tan, that's somebody's black, and light skinned people, that's somebody that we would say white. So me, I don't like to say those words, because now in my family, my children are black and white, Spanish and black. I do have some black and black. I didn't think I was gonna get that, but I do have that. So it makes me, I got colorful. I love my children, my grandkids, and my great-grandkids, and they're all different shades. So it made me a good person, all the things that I had to take.
I was good to the island, the first man on the island, was black and white.
Okay. So black and white made really pretty gray. I am kind of on that. People say I do make a lot of little jokes. So some things are gonna come out real funny because I don't know no other way. So when I was around so many sisters and brothers, so we just talked, and sometimes things came out really funny. But a couple of stories that I was gonna tell y'all about out here, and I don't know, y'all so young. There was a guy that, we only had one police officer. His name was Willie Mae. I don't know, a lot of...
Oh yeah, Danny Mae.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know it.
A lot of y'all ain't gonna know. There's only one. He didn't need but one. He was bad all by himself. So, we got started to come from an all-black school in Kissimmee. When they integrated school here, my first year, I was in 9th grade. And at that time, the high school was over here. They didn't have Osceola High at that time, over there. And listen now, I want you to know, I come from an all-black school that I thought I was cute and fine because I was a majorette. I get to the white school and they told me, oh, you can't get up front. And I'm like, oh my God, and I thought I had something to do. I thought I could twirl it and throw it up and catch it and spit it out. I didn't know how, they wouldn't let me do that. So they told me, and I wanted to be in the band. So when Mr. Jenkins told me, they told me I couldn't be in the band, I couldn't be a majorette, so I had to be in the band. I had to play an instrument. I don't know how to play an instrument. I know how to march with my legs, thought I was cute and fine. That didn't work there. So they gave me a tutor. And this little young lady, she taught me how to play the French horn. So that's how I got in the band. I learned how to play an instrument. That's when they would not take black kids all the way to Kissimmee. That means we had to stay in St. Cloud. And so that's what I did. And I went to school. I didn't go to school a lot because my mama done had a lot of children. And back then in those days, they didn't make you go to school. I was one of the oldest girls, so I stayed home and watched the rest of the babies as my mom went to work, her and my dad. I remember one year I missed 80 days. You had to go to school a lot. But I did what I had to do, so that's how my life was. And my thing that I missed the most, so at one time, I missed school when they was learning how to tell time. People got digital because you can just look at it and it say 7:19 or whatever. I didn't get that part. So I had to learn how to, if somebody would ask me what time it was, I had a nice watch, I'm very fashionable. I didn't know how to tell that. I would always say it was broken, but I didn't learn it. So the things that I did, it made me strong for being raised in St. Cloud. One time, probably my biggest thing that I said that I was learning is when we was down Crawford Street, because black area. Now they got a street named after my daddy down there, but I want you to know, at the time when I was a young girl, I could have been no more than probably 10 or 11. And this stick out, this story does. My mom always used to make she had to make like 40 or 50 biscuits a day, bread now, because that was our bread, was biscuits. She made it every day. One day, she decided she wanted us to have the local library. Okay, but me being the oldest, she said, sister, my nickname, everybody got a nickname. She said, Sister Gal, go down there to not Mr. Elliott, it was a Mr. Bruce or somebody, what store that was, down there in the,
Yeah, I know we're talking shit on
Leonard,
there.
Mr. Leonard store or something.
Leonard, yeah.
Leonard store, that was the only store now. And Mr. Leonard store, like today, they got a bell, they say ding, 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 ring all the time. And the story is about anytime you was in a store and you black, you're not allowed to get waited on. And I was in the store at least 2 hours. I was just getting a loaf of light bread. But I knew my place back there. And they told me that if anybody white came in, they were not allowed to wait on me. And every time that door opened, it said ding, ding, ding. And I was hoping that it might be one of my people, but they never came in. So, and the thing is, when they do, they have to shop. And they would shop, and they couldn't wait on me until they got through. They would shop and pick everything up, and then they'll go to the counter. I'm still standing there. As soon as Mr. Leonard would get what he was doing, that bell would ring again. Ding, 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 ding. And I stayed there because one after another, somebody white came in. And I knew my place. I could not get waited on until it was done. You talking about somebody was so glad that they could pay for a loaf of bread. It probably wasn't but 5 cents then at that time that I got that bread and I got a chance to go home. And so you know what 11-year-old said to her mama? Boy, you're gonna have to make more biscuits. Because I didn't want to have to go to the store again. But that was one of the stories that stuck out with me. it made me strong, like, cause that's what back then, that's what people did. I didn't expect no, we thought that was all right, cause I knew my place then. My place was to stay wherever they told me to stay. Don't do no more in this, cause I knew my place. They know who was supposed to be right, and back then those days, as Daniel said that we're not allowed to be in St. Cloud. Like right now, we would be scared to come out here after dark. We was not allowed to come here after dark. They made that. They didn't send a memo, but somebody told us. And so I knew my place, and we stayed there. So when I left there, and it's all the things that was just going on in St. Cloud. And I want you to know that was just one of my stories. I have a lot of that. Growing up, I have from 9th grade all the way up to 12th grade. And so another one of my story, that's the one I always talk about, that like bread, because it was such a long thing, and it weighed on my heart heavy, because I didn't understand why they couldn't just wait on me. And I was still young. To me, when I was at 11, I was still short like that. I was little. But they just looked right over you. It didn't make a difference, because that's how it was. And another story I know that I never been able to forget, it was a night at the picture show. They did let us go to the movies, but we don't supposed to be there after dark. So one day we decided to go. It was 3 of us. I had a friend named Jackie Stevenson and Ernestine Alexander. You know what? I got this, it's on me, so I know about it. So we went to the movies, and we went there, it was daytime. I don't know at that time, but when we came out from watching the movie, it was dark. Okay, now we already know our place. It's dark now outside of the movie, and we downtown. I looked around and she looked around, and we like, oh my God, it's night. And now we had that fear in it, so we got, hey, we got to get up out of here now, because we ready. We started to run. And all of a sudden we hit one place, because the picture show was down there. And so we was running through this little area, back right here, trying to get back to Blacktown. And all of a sudden we heard some people's on the porch, and we just little girls now. And somebody said, look at those in, y'all know what in, that don't mean need. Just and we were little girls, so we could hear what they said, and she said, sick the dogs on them. Boy, when you're going to hear the word say, sick the dogs on them. So we were getting ready to run fast now, because now we got something chasing us. Y'all just thought we was fast because we were black. We were fast because we were running. So I want you to know, as soon as we got ready to run fast, my friend Jackie, she slipped and she fell. I'm still this way today. So what I did, I reached back to help Jackie get up. And boy, Jackie was like lightning. She struck out. And when I got ready to run, I slipped and fell. And I want you to know, before I can get up, the dog was already on me. Oh. They came out there, dogs tell me that I know what dog slob tastes like, because he was all over me. And it was a lady, and she talked to me, and she said, then you know you're not allowed to be down here at a certain time. And I kept saying, yes, ma'am. And then she asked me another question. I said, we was trying to get home because we knew our place. And she said, well, you know, I could call Dana Mae or whatever, whoever, you know, that was our police officer. And I kept saying, yes, ma'am. I'm crying now. I'm already scared because the dog was just over me. And it bothered me so much. And she just talked about me so bad. And I said, and when she finally let me up, because she had to tell the dog to get away from him, for me to even get up. And I said, and then she said, do you learn anything about this? I said, yes, ma'am, I learned. And I learned that lesson, that when I went back home again, I never went back downtown again. So those are the things that it was teaching me, that every time I went somewhere down here, I got caught up, and so it was hard for me. And then all of a sudden, one thing after another that it was lesson learned for me about telling stories about what happened in my past. I don't look at things the same. Like I told you about my family, I got time for that. At one time, all my friends was white. I had to go find me a black friend. And all the stuff that they had done to me, I was all right with that because it had to be a lesson to be learned. Things is like that today? No. Now, even in 1979, when I first bought my first home, I bought it in a white neighborhood. Now, I don't live down here in St. Cloud, and they done did all kinds of things to me. All kinds of things. And you buy a house. I was working at Mercury Marine, you know. Working at Mercury Marine out there, right down the road, I was making $1.09, $1.67. I was rich. Because I'm thinking this was time, now I can buy me a house. I was saving some money. That don't sound like a lot of money today, but back there, that was the money one day in. If you worked at Mercury Marine, you was in there. Girl, you can get some stuff. And so and that's where I was living, working for. So I decided to save me some money to buy me a house. And our first house I bought it across town in a white neighborhood. I want you to know, I thought I was done, the St. Cloud thing. If you see me jumping around, because these are the things that stays on me. So when I left there and got my job and then got my house, the first trouble I get at over there at that house, my kids, little black kids, we don't know no better, running out in the streets, and they seen them, and they said, follow them back to the house where we was living at. And the man knocked on the door. It was a police officer. And I opened up the door, and he said, could I speak to the lady of the house? Just like that. Like demanding me to go get to the lady of the house. So I said, bam! I slammed that door. And I opened it up and I said, could I help you, sir? He said, this your house? I said, yes, sir. And he said, oh, I said, only thing it take is green money. It ain't got nothing to do with black and white. If your money is green, you can buy a house too. And I had to let him know, and I thought that it took us forever to get through a lot of little things that were still withholding us, that they think that you couldn't overcome. So I had already overcome some things from St. Cloud. So what he was gonna say to me, I thought it was all right. You thought that was my end of the story over there in Paradise Circle. That's where I live at today. It'll be 40 years, I'm still in the same place, same house. Probably still the same, only black person over there, but I'm still there. But I want you to know, I decided to go on third shift at Mercury Marine. And one day I was getting ready to go to work. And police officer back then in the day, you know, they rode around those areas of house because they were trying to make sure there wasn't nobody black gonna break in the house. I happened to be getting ready to go to work late that night, 10 o'clock. I had to be at work at 11. And the police officer, when he was going around the circle, because I had parked in the back to get out and get in the car to leave, he seen me. I looked right at him, and he looked at me. And you know what you're doing, because I wanted to get to work. So I did like this. Like, what's up? Like, he in his car, I'm in mine, so he looked like he wasn't moving. So I just said, like, what's up? And so he decided to leave. So then I backed right on out and went on down the road. You know where he stopped me at? He stopped me out there off of Michigan, getting ready to come to 192 to come to St. Cloud. And he said to me, he said, ma'am? I said, yes, sir. He said, now I don't got a little upset because I was already running late. So now he done stopped me, and now he was trying to question me because I was driving while I was black. He said to me, ma'am, I said, yes. He said, well, I said, I'm going to tell you this. That 2512, getting on my little license, Paradise Circle, that's my house that you see me, because you could have talked to me when I was at my house. You didn't have to get me all the way down here to pull me over to question me about that house. But that's how you looking at it. Oh, you know, I said, listen, I ain't even mad at you. I need for you to go back and go around that little circle because my children is in that house. Now I feel like they protected because you watching the house. So that's how those are some of the things I had about. Cause then I meet a friend, cause up north, white people didn't treat you as bad like we is from the south, you know. So my friends that come from up there, they liked me and they had a house right downtown. And they gave me a key. Said, girl, you can hang out and, you know, go to sleep, you know, by myself. And I said, man, I don't know how to go in a house in this neighborhood, in St. Cloud. I got a key to go in somebody's house. I said, I feel real kind of nervous and scared, like somebody gonna get me in there. She said, well, you can just hang out and do whatever you want to. And I said, you sure that's all right? Because I know I done been out here a lot, and you know, they keep trying to hang in there with me. I said, okay, I'm gonna give this a try because I feel real funny. Because I had said, y'all can't even give me a free house in St. Cloud. Because that's how bad the people treated me down there. I said, I don't want to get down there because I don't want to go to jail. And some people don't really want to go to hell. So I'm trying to not do both of those. So she let me have, and I want you to know, I got a little comfortable. Like, okay, everybody that's light skinned ain't so bad. And you know, I start hanging, and my attitude or my wheels and things that started, I was thinking it wasn't like that anymore. One thing I do know, prejudice is taught. It don't just come naturally. Being in St. Cloud, and I'm being in a white neighborhood, and all my children, they went to a white school. So the first thing the teacher called me in to say to me, your daughter don't know what color she is. I said, what? Her nationality. I'm like, what? Because I just thought you were born black and she know you were black. But for some reason, she didn't look at it like that. So she's at the school down there, and they said to her, and the little kids, because she could have been more about 5. You know, she's about 5 going to the daycare down there, a Christian school. And so, and when the lady called me in, the teacher called me in and tell me that she didn't know what her nationality, what color she was. I said, oh my God, I thought she knew that. So I couldn't hardly wait to get Chessie home. I said, girl, you don't know what color you is? Because the children kept calling her black. And she kept telling you, no, you got it wrong. My last name is Brown. So then I had to let her know that there was talking about your race or your color, that she was black. Because that let me know, all that time I had her at that school, it never came up for me to tell her that she was a black girl. All she knew that her name was Brown. And so when she told me, then I understand that I had to start. Then I decided, I said, well, let me take these black kids into a black neighborhood where they can see where our people's at. Because I think they done lost something. I think, you know, they said, a lot of my family was saying, oh, you kind of teach them white, and I was just trying to teach them right.
All right now.
And I want you to know a lot of stuff happened trying to teach your children the right thing, not to see that it was color that was people were looking at, and not what the characters of that you was looking upon or working with. My father taught me that we was black. I understood that, and I kept learning things day by day. And people, not different, all color, peoples in general, I learned how to love them all. You treat people how they treat you. Would I ever, for a long time, I never wanted a dog. I was scared, I was fearful living in St. Cloud for my life. until my daddy would tell stories about his life. If a black man would see underclothes of white women hanging on the line, they got hung for that. These are things that, oh my God, so my life wasn't so bad. Because now we know other stuff. You don't never know what's wrong with somebody's story until somebody tells you their story. My spirit telling me I need to stop because I got so much stuff that's in me that I'm learning how to get it out. When I came here last year, it was probably 4 people. It was me, my friend Nina, my granddaughter, and it was 2 little sisters, about 4 or 5. And we just, oh, there's my baby right here. Them 2 right there. And they told me when I come, they was coming back again. And we enjoyed just sitting around, them listening to what I had to say about the city of St. Cloud.
You still got time, Miss May.
I still got time?
Still got time, Miss May. Tell some more stories.
Okay. That's what, if anybody wanted to ask a question, that's why she told me to make sure that if anybody want to ask something, I'm good about it. If you don't, I got some more stories to tell.
Can I ask you about, you had a large family. Back in that time, you was in St. Cloud. What were the living conditions for your family with such a large family? How do you
okay, the living condition was so hard. When people just I got my own room, I got this room. That ain't how it was back then in the day. You had a girl's room, a boy room, and your mom and daddy room.
That's right.
There was just 3 rooms. There wasn't no 4. You had 1 bathroom. Boys had to go outside, TT out there. You know, because it was just like that. And so, the funniest thing, and if you had, because we had a girl bed and a boy, the rooms were bigger back then in those days because you can get 2 big beds in a room. So, different girls, I think, me and my cousin Lucinda, there were like 2 of us. The 2 big ones could have a bed and share the bed, and the other 2 or 3 could share the other bed. And girls seemed to be all right. But my thing was my brothers. I want you to know, boys are bedwetters. And it was the funniest thing. My dad would say, if one person went to bed, they all went. So nobody didn't know who did what. They'd get up and say, it wasn't me. We used to laugh about that. We could never hardly wait to get your own bed because you know who went to bed that night. But it made everything funny. We laughed about all of that. So whoever, we had one that was always doing that same damage. My brother, he said he wanted to just get him a pamper. There was no pamper back then. But he just wanted to get him a plastic bag and make sure he wasn't the one that doing it. So they finally found out who was doing all that trouble. So that's the one they got rid of and told their daddy, because everybody don't need to be a spanking, because they were going to spank you. Back there, people whoop you if you did the wrong thing. Yeah, when it was one thing you got whooped about. And so they always, one was wet, everybody got a spanking. That's how it was with the boys. The girls didn't hardly do all of that kind of stuff. But the arrangement was bad. I'm going to tell y'all this. If Nina and them already probably laugh at this, but this is funny now, because I want you to know, if you got a lot of brothers and sisters, we never had anything left over. Nothing was left over. We had no cornbread, no biscuit, no meat, no rice, no vegetables, nothing. But if you got some rats, they got to upset something. Because, and I tell them, this is no lie, nobody got to believe it. They can put it in the thing and write it down and put it as a cartoon. So, the rat was so upset about not having nothing left over to eat. So this particular rat one day jumped on after I fried some chicken and put it in the thing. And I want you to know, this rat decided that he gonna eat first. The rat got up there, jumped on, like, hey, if I gotta survive, I got to do something. He jumped up there, grabbed that piece of chicken, and he was trying to carry it. he had to drop it. And I swear to God, the rat said, whew, ha. I want you to know, I laugh and I tell these stories because they think I'm joking. But that rat decided he wanted to eat something that night. If he didn't get that, he wasn't going to get that later. Because my brothers doing nothing. They ain't leaving nothing. And I want you to know, they ate it all the time like that. They did not play about eating their food.
And when you cook chicken, how many chickens did you?
Oh, I had 4. This is an absolute 4 chicken every other day. My mom taught me, and I was cooking ever since I was 9 years old. I can wring chicken, chop their neck off, put them down. My daddy would put the water, boil them, would pick them, pluck them, burn the hair off them, and cut them up and fry them. I learned how to deal with what God had dealt to me. Because I learned that, but she gonna make sure, she said, baby, they will go to work. I had 2 loads of clothes, the colored and 2 colors of white and the white clothes and the colored clothes. It was every day of my life until I left my mom and dad's house. And I was the last one at home. I want you to know, you fry the chicken and cook some white rice, make some gravy and cook cornbread. The next day it was a boiled meat. People might not know about pig ears and neck bones and all that other stuff. But the boiled meat I had to do the next day. So I did with boiled meat, I had to use black eyed peas, but rice was the biggest thing. I cooked rice every day. And cornbread was cooked every day. I did that every day. A boiled meat and then a fried meat. I think on Sunday, my mom would cook something. Like people eat spaghetti. We didn't know what that was. We never had that. We didn't know. We always had beans and rice, you know. Probably why we was all so big, but that's all we ever had. So that's what they fed us, and that's what I learned to cook. I was doing that at 9, and when I wasn't tall enough, they let me stand on a tub. And another thing, who had bathtubs back then? Now see, a lot of y'all had a bathtub. See, we didn't have that.
We had them tubs.
See, y'all had been there when we was staying, when there was a lot of us. We had a number 8 tub. We had a big round tub.
A big gray one.
Yeah, a big round
A
tub.
little smaller foot tub.
And thank you. Foot tub. We had those. And I want you to know, like people say, all my little brothers and sisters, after me, I bathed them all in that same water. You think we gonna throw water out? You're gonna draw off, put your little clothes on, and just keep it going. We learn how to live like that, and to right now, all of my brothers and sisters, we this close. Don't nothing come between that. We'll tell our husband, now when I get around my brothers and sisters, and this is true, I said, let me go see if my brother needs something to eat. I got to take care of him. Because my father taught us that my brothers is our bloodline. So we made sure my brothers ate before anybody else. We knew the routine. Girls did not eat until the boys were taken care of. So me or my sister, we're going to make sure my brothers don't eat first. I don't care. Today, we got this still bad. We still going to make sure. And they got wives, but still in our head, our brothers have to eat first. My father taught us that. You never put all your boys in one car. In case that car have a wreck, all his boys is not going to die at one time. These are the things that he put in my head. So these are the things that I learned. And it made me to what I am today. So I look at things different than most people do because I was taught that way. Did we have to eat? We would wait. I got a fetish about forks and spoons because there was so many of us, we had to take turns to eat. I learned how to eat greens and stuff with my hand. Sometimes that's where they get that thing and looking good from. Y'all thought they just made that up. No. But if y'all got any more questions, like I told you, I got a lot of stuff. But I have an hour. So anybody want to ask a
Back
question?
in the day, we used to always have to walk to church. Did y'all have to walk to church?
Girl, we walked somewhere. Now, it hurts, Cause we was in Blacktown, the bus would come, the bus that would pick up, we further, but they always catch the bus in that area. We had to walk to Osceola High. We never could catch the bus from there. Now, you could catch the bus to Kissimmee when we was little. They had 2 bus drivers, Mr. Johnny Neal and Miss Griffin. And now we're on, and she picked up. At that time, I'm telling you, and they picked all the way up. So when everybody was black, that's where she went to pick up. Even if it was just 1 in Kennethville, 2 or 3 in Nakusi. She had to drive that bus because she was only allowed, her and Mr. Johnny Neal, only allowed to pick up black people. And they had to take us from there all the way to the only black school, and that was in Kissimmee. Until 1967, when they integrated the school, we stopped catching the bus and we had to start walking. And we walked to school. And you know, I learned that. That's how we did. It wasn't about walking to church. Because you know, it was a church on most every corner. It had 2 or 3 at it. So you could just walk to church. But the school, and down here at the fireman dime, which you'll never want to go to a store downtown. I don't know if they still feel that way in St. Cloud, but it was so hard for you when you go in one of those stores, they watches you. And that's the hardest thing. After, even when you start making money, you still get watched. Because for some reason, they think we're gonna take something, but even when you look, I just can never understand why they treat it that way. And almost,
Not only St. Cloud was that way, all over Florida mostly was that way, small towns.
see, I don't know much about other places because I was only in Kissimmee or St. Cloud, but I believe that. Because, you know, one, I would say this, and this was, me and my dad, it was like, he had a little pickup truck. I don't know, some of my children right here, I don't know if I told it, but K-Sean or somebody might know. That we was on the season, and he was coming, I think we was coming to Florida. And it was like a lot of us on the back of the truck. You know how to pick up truck, and he had like little cans and stuff that we would sit on, because it was a lot of us, 7 or 8 of us back there. And he decided he wanted to stop by and just get us something to eat from a little store. I want you to know, as we stopped and got ready to get out of the truck, and we was getting out the back, and it was some little kids, they could have been no more, little young children. And they were white, and they saw all us getting out. And they screamed and hollered to their mom and dad, and they were just, Mommy, 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 come help. Because they say it's a lot of monkeys coming out of that truck. And we thought, because at that time, we didn't know who they was talking about. Because we looked around to see, could we see some monkeys? We never once knew that's what they was talking about. It was us.
Yeah.
And that's what they was calling us. And we thinking now how would they look at us like that? And that how people told them. Nobody never told them about black people. They just, now everybody just assuming things. Those are the things, like I told you, just little things like that stuck out. And I want you to know, it just made me, like I said, I love everybody. Ain't nobody, you ain't got nothing that you can do or say to hurt me. Because I know that God, it's hard for me not to say God, because that's in me. That can't nobody hurt me, because I know what I am. Back there in those days, I knew my place. And I stayed in my place. I was real obedient about doing what the people said for me to do. Today, he don't never want to listen. Back there in them days, children listen to their parents. They did that. For some reason, they don't do it anymore. They don't do it anymore.
Education.
Oh, boy.
Education, I know that when I was coming up and you were coming up, it's an all-black school, Kissimmee High.
Mhm.
In my opinion, I just get your opinion, how was education back there, as far as the learning compared to now? Back in those days, we had all black teachers. Now, compared to what we have in 2018, how is the learning, you think, compared to the blacks back in our day to the blacks now?
Now, only thing to me, Ms. Jones, that what they did for black kids back then in the days, we only could get the books that was left over by the white kids.
That's right.
So we was always late getting whatever, because there was always gonna be missing a page or something not gonna be right with it. But that's how they taught us. Now, for us, I know a lot of kids, like I told you, I missed a lot of days. I can't tell you what went on at school because I wasn't there. But but for that, they learned, the teachers that went to school or went to college or whatever they taught us the best way they do how to do it in a place that was colored or whatever. Yeah, right.
I just thought I'd say this because I didn't really go to the black school except for first grade.
Yeah, I know you was a
But-
kid.
It was something about the way they taught you. You know, what you didn't learn, they will beat your butt
Oh,
to
yeah.
make sure you understood it. If you didn't spell a word right.
Oh, yeah, you got spankings back there.
If you didn't know a definition of something,
Every teacher had a paddle.
yes.
They didn't have to send you to the principal. You go to the principal, you really done did something really bad. But every teacher had a paddle, everyone. Discipline was big time back then in the days. And I don't need to call your mama, I got this for you now. That's just how it was. Yeah. Our people that, they gonna get suspended, we don't know where that word come from. Never heard of it. Nobody never got that. You got spanked and go back to your seat. The next time I tell you, get up and that's what you do. That's how it was back there in those days. Back then, the day with Willie Mae, we didn't, like I told you, my father done, their word means something. When they spoke, we listened. Today, the teachers, today, they can't do that. They done put so much stipulation on. Oh, I said that big word, PG.
Proud of you.
I know that. I've been lately, I do a lot of speaking, and I know I'm not good with words, but for some reason, people know exactly what I'm saying. Any question? All right, guys, that's it. Oh, now throwing this baby behind your hand. Yeah.
Was there a moment where later on you did something that you originally weren't supposed to do and you were surprised that you didn't face repercussions for it?
I don't really think I did. I did get a credit about going to, because I went to 12th grade out here in St. Cloud. I think I got to sing in the choir. Because they didn't let you do a lot of stuff. And a lot of people had cute voices, but they just thought most black people could sing. I wasn't one of them. So that one thing I did was singing in the choir that I felt like I was able to do. And I wasn't good at it. Yeah, but
You seem to be real careful about saying some things are on you and some things are in you. Can you talk about that for a second?
to me, what was put on me was what they told me. What was in me, God put it in me. That I know what was right and I know what was wrong.
Yeah.
Do you regret any of your experiences, whether they were positive or negative?
Oh, nothing. Everything is a learning experience. Everything, even what I said, you'll probably go back, I can't believe that she lived through that. But what I'm saying is some things were worse than that. Some things you don't even want to talk about because it looks at people. Even that show when Roots came out, it hurted my heart because I knew these are things that really, really happened. But now the whole people know what's going on. It makes you look at other people different. It made you look at her. Who are you to spit on me like I'm just dirt? And that ain't what you want to hear. That hurt. It's two things I learned from my father. You don't spit on nobody and you don't kick nobody. Those are the worst two things a person, a human being, could do to another human being. Now, if you want to get my time wrong, you can ask my grandkids, don't spit and don't kick. You gonna get a whooping for grandma.
Did I come too late for the story about the cheerleader, about the float?
No, she didn't tell me that.
Tell the
Oh,
story.
okay. All right, don't worry about it.
She got time.
What story you want to hear? Right?
I-
About the flow. Only reason they know stuff because of my friends. They know a lot of stuff about me that I done told them. And
The
so-
opportunity to work on the float during the
Oh,
high
yeah,
school.
I didn't tell them that. And my senior year, back in the days, you were, like I say, you would not go downtown. It was a guy that had a cab service. And the float, you only could work at the float after dark, after school was out. So the people that was in 12th grade with me, it's a little warehouse they had that they would put the float in that you can come down to work on. So for them to come down to Blacktown, which it didn't matter because they were white, but I had to get in the trunk because they was gonna give me some credit for my senior year. So I got in the trunk because I really wanted to go and get that credit, and I really wanted to go work on the float, but it was for the seniors. So my friends came and picked me up and put me in the trunk, and we rolled on through St. Cloud, and they opened the trunk up when we was at the warehouse for me to get out, for me to work on the float. And that's how I got my credit from at 12th grade, and I was all right with that, because that was something I wanted to do. Then I knew I couldn't come, and you can't ride with nobody white, so you got to hide to do that. So I didn't have no problem with that, Ronnie. I went in and worked my little booty off, did that, and they gave me my credit, because I think, I don't know, Jack and Stanley, not Stanley, with all of us was trying to get out of high school, so we did a lot of stuff. So I did do that one year, and like I say, it made me better. I look at things on TV, that happened to me. I have got put out of a restaurant and pushed around. I have done that. At one time, they had a View restaurant right down here in St. Cloud. Yep, he would know, Parkview. And I was trying to apply for a dishwashing job. They didn't tell me I wasn't allowed to go through the front door. I went through the front door of that place. At that time, you know, I was young, trying to get a little job. Because I didn't go out into the orange grove in the fields with my other brother and sister. I was one of them black people that stayed in the house, so I was doing house stuff. So I decided that I wanted to get me a little job, get my own little money. And I read that they
What were
needed
those
a
people
dishwasher.
called, Miss May? What were those people called? The ones that worked in the house? Because the kids need to understand that there's a difference. What were those people called?
Intelligent people. I got it in the So that. She ain't gonna say it. No, we don't have to say all that to understand.
Go ahead.
You never really had any really violent situations coming up, you know, because when I was in the area, there was many times we saw the Ku Klux Klan burning crosses down there. Also, there were, like I say, you go into an area to eat, something like that. There were certain places you can go and you could. So did you really experience a lot
Now,
of
what's your
violence?
name? The restaurants that we knew we couldn't eat in, none of the restaurants downtown.
We didn't try.
None of it. We never went downtown to eat. No place in St. Cloud. The only place that would serve you to eat was Billionaires. You had to go to Kissimmee. That's the only black place you can go get something. From the back. You can't even eat it from the front. You had to go to the back. They didn't.
So back then, they used to practice that religion all the time, and the processing in front of the houses and everything?
Oh, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
your side of the track and mine.
Oh, wow.
They made that perfectly clear until I told you like in 1979 that you decided you could branch out a little bit. And they still was, they're still holding things against you then. But y'all in a better time now. Yeah, baby.
I was gonna ask, like, how has it been, like, seeing, like, changes or, like,
See, now, some people, when y'all look at it like things on TV, it really have changed. It ain't what it used to be. It's not. You're not, boys men ain't going to jail because they with a white girl or whatever. Now it's just normal. Everything is, after a while, it's just gonna be one color. Cause everybody all mixed up now. So we ain't gonna have that to fall on. My husband there always tell me, he's from New York, he said it's only taught in America that you black and white. Everybody else is just peoples. We are peoples. Don't judge me because my hair is nappy and yours is straight. Peoples are people. Don't judge me because my brain works just like your brain. I might forget a little more, but it works. But that's how back in the day, they looked at it. But I see the improvement. I see it. It ain't like it. We learn the same thing they learn now. Their books are just like our books because we sit beside it. Our friend is walking up this way, so we good? Okay. What time you have, Miss Nina? 10:00. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can tell time too. 10:10.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you about the dishwasher, but please finish that story.
Okay.
You went in through the front
I
door.
remember you, and I went to the front door, and I can't remember, it was young. It was, people was eating breakfast, because it was a morning time. And I walked in, and everybody stopped, and recognized that I was in there, and the owner said, "What are you doing? What you doing?" And I applied to say, I saw a dishwashing job for a work. And you don't come in the front, that nice word, that nice end word, get out and go to the back. Being young, I didn't know where the back was at. I only saw the front door. So for me to go to the next part, to go around, after they cut up so bad through the front door, I was scared to go through the back door. So I just went home. Because if you don't want stuff on you, you don't go to stuff. A lot of things, all they taught me, I left a lot of things alone. I didn't go back to the picture show. I didn't never have to go back downtown. I just didn't go anymore. I went there on Mincy Street years ago with River Road. I stayed there until somebody came on a bus from school, till I had to go to school. I stayed like that from school to there because my life in St. Cloud was hard for me. I wanted to cry every time I went through there because of what the people done. Not all the people, that's what I had to get to. Everybody wasn't like that. Everybody wasn't like that. And I learned that. Yeah, baby.
How and when did you learn that? When did that really?
Yesterday. But I learned that probably even like say it was still hard back there in the 60s, the 70s. Cause I got out of school in 1970. So it was starting, even then was getting better at that time. It was starting to let you do a little stuff. We didn't get in so much trouble because we was black. Even when we went downtown, even if it was been dark or something. And I probably had the hardest time to deal with that was Dana Bay. Cause now we was allowed to come down there. And we didn't have to go to jail, they didn't make us go back home. Cause we was allowed to go there now. So that made a difference.
I'm gonna piggyback on what the lady said. Was there a time when you had?
Curfew?
No, you told us about the time when your child said she was not black but brown.
She was brown.
Is there another time with your kids that you had to teach them some kind of way that, a little bit different or?
About color, about the
color,
yeah.
so that they wouldn't get in trouble? So was there a time you had to teach your kids this, or how did you teach them, or they just automatically knew that? How did?
They kind of automatic, because they didn't never my children,
They were never in the black
they never
thing.
in that black thing.
So you had to teach them.
Yeah, that's like I told you, I had to tell Chastity didn't know what color she was, because it wasn't taught that she was black. And she was just going by what they kept calling her, was black, instead of her telling her last name was brown.
So
But
had
if
to
you-
sit down with them and say.
And
"Listen."
tell them, you are,
No, not really say, tell them, I don't mean just tell them you're black, I'm trying to say, I'm asking, did you have to sit down with them and say, you know what, you might be dark, a different color than someone else, but you're still as good as they are, or you can do what they can do. There was a time where they felt like they weren't as good as their neighbors, and you had to come in and say, although your color's different, you're still as good, or they already understood that.
I think they got already understood that. Somebody needed to tell me that. Yeah.
As you mentioned, the children are not listening to the parents. I found some reason for that. This is the one reason you got them friends, they're talking to this one, not to parents. Number two, the fridge is full of food. They go and take it out whatever they want, but they don't need you. Although you providing it, but that is the main reason. I remember myself, I'm 80-year-old. Back then I am from Pakistan. There was no fridge there. And when I was coming here in America, I had to provide them something, to take care of themselves. So I provided them fridge. Then the trouble started. So we should actually reason ourselves to provide the children as they want. Don't fill the fridge, fill with good things,
Right.
They should achieve
But it would do good things.
we train the animals how? We deprive them of the food for some time, and then we start giving them, train them, then they act as we say. We are human beings, we should try to do the same thing. Right. I will get you this, then you do this. So this is my experience.
Oh, you're right. That's,
They will call it abuse right now. You know that. They will call DCF or 911.
But DCF, I was trying to nudge them, they need to put, that DCF need to mean something else. Yeah, they need to, I think if you would let the parents raise them like they used to, they wouldn't have to call them all the time. Now we have to ask permission to spank our own kids.
You cannot spank, no.
No,
You cannot spank,
You can.
There you cannot spank, nobody. You cannot even use the word
You
spank.
know what though, since we just stopped spanking, we got one, they hate the corner for some reason, cause it's all now time out. I thought time out mean to play, but now time out. If they sit in time out, they don't like that. They don't like time out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Ms. Willie Mae, this has been awesome, Willie Mae. Like I said, thank you guys for coming. Come with some more.